It's Wednesday, the 25th of March. We are here for the Six Nations autopsy. Okay, we're not here for the Six Nations autopsy, guys.
We're not talking about
it.
good news.
I tell you something. This is episode 11 of the Cob Pod. We have got a huge show because we're coming to the end of the season. There's lots of stuff coming, lots of tournaments finishing, and we're joined by some special guests. So welcome to the Cob Pod.
Here we go. It's the Cob Pod with Mick, Pete, Alex, and Lonnie.
And Nishi.
From the minis to the vets, for all your rugby bets. Cobham, home of Surrey's finest. The bar even has a wine list. The Cob Pod, oi, oi, oi. The Cob Pod, holy moly. You're home for everything rugby. The Cob Pod.
And what a lovely wine list it has.
Yeah.
So we're joined
It's
up.
the best line in that
Yeah, of course it
is
is.
the bar even has a wine list. I love that. That's good.
How are you, Alex?
I am really good, mate.
You're looking
really good.
You're looking tidy.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there. Give me another few months. I might even be able to run again. No, I've been good. Been absolutely freezing out there. For those that don't know, we record on a Wednesday evening. Girls train out on a Wednesday evening. It felt like -2 to -5 at 7:30. There was ice on the AGP.
Really?
Yeah, there was ice on the AGP that we were kicking out of the way. It was flipping freezing. And considering we were in shorts and T-shirts last week, it was a bit of a shock. But all good, good fun. Getting into it.
Excellent. Mr. Pete Christie,
Hello.
dashing as always.
Hello, thank you.
How are you, mate?
You're very kind. I'm actually quite sore. I was telling Richard, I did the Box Hill hike yesterday.
Did you?
8 miles, like that. And then this morning, I had to rip up about 25 foot of Virginia creeper, well-established Virginia creepers. So I'm in a bit of trouble moving.
How is she? Sorry.
You're very well. That's it. So I'm sore.
Oh, well done, mate. And we've got one Richard Niche.
Hello.
How are you?
Great to be back. I am glowing, not from the last half an hour of touch. Probably also glowing from that. But just from genuinely one of the best rugby experiences of my life this weekend. And we're going to dig into it. We're going to talk lots about it. But very, very, very special experience.
I cannot wait to hear it. We're going to get to that in a few moments, but we do have a couple of wee mystery guests. Should we get them in?
Let's get on with it.
All right, let's do it. Not one, but two genuinely beautiful human beings. I'm going to point over here first, and you get to introduce yourself and say who are you and where do you come from?
Chris Lippiat, first team captain. Thank you very much for having me back on the pod. I'm from Ashton, I guess. Yeah, just around the corner. But good to be back, gents. Thank you.
Up the road, and then this chap to my right.
Ryan Saunders, former first team captain. Cobham through and through. Living in Cobham at the moment. Been living in Cobham my whole life. So sorry, a bit far away from that, am I? Sorry. But yeah, good to be back. Haven't been on this for a couple of years now, I think. I think it was almost peak end of COVID that was last night.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
And just after the World Cup? Was that right?
Yes, it was.
So.
And I had no idea what I was talking about.
Take the hint, mate.
Half the game.
Take the hint.
Join the club. Join the club. Mate. Join the club.
Yeah.
So, Lips, I want to start with you because another great game at the weekend. Talk us through where we played, who we played, how we played.
Yeah, so we were down in Hove. Sun was shining. Got a pretty tough run, and I think we're playing 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then 5th. So Hove are in 4th, I believe.
Yep, they are.
Had a really tough game down there away last year. We were just chasing our tails the whole time and couldn't get the result we wanted last year. So we know it's quite a difficult place to go. They had 3 teams at home. They were touting it as Super Saturday. Nice. So, I mean, not a huge crowd, but it's quite a hostile environment to go down. They're quite they enjoy a bit of a chirp from both the players on the pitch and the sideline. But it was one of those days we had a away bus booked, all of the squad on the bus, social booked in from our lovely sponsors at Dropkick in the evening, and the sun was shining, and it felt like one of those days where you woke up and I just knew we weren't going to lose. And I think we've had a few nervy games, in the previous weeks, kind of coming, still unbeaten on the right track. And I think the nerves have got the better of us at times. But Saturday felt like the first complete and dominant performance in some time. And it was thoroughly enjoyable, and the night was even better. So
Excellent. So 6 tries, Chris. Penfold got 3.
yeah.
How many times for the
Anyone
season?
else get any tries?
18.
Sort of someone, I think.
Yeah,
Did you-
about 60 metres out.
18 tries this season.
Either he's on 18 or Charlie's on 18 at the moment.
Yeah,
Right.
they're going toe for toe.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Yeah.
No
So it's
tries
going to be an
for
interesting one.
Oh,
So, Chris, you got one, didn't you?
I got one. That is number 9 of the season.
Is that
I'll
right?
add.
Well,
Length of the field? Length of the
Well,
field,
to be fair, it was
25.
probably, I reckon 20,
40, 50 minutes.
yeah.
19.
Just inside the 22. But, and I got Ryan to thank for the assist as well. So
and then Finn, Saville and Bondi got one as well, yeah.
correct, yeah.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Weaving run from 10.
Nice. From your perspective, Ryan, talk us through the game.
I think, as Chris said, from the warm up, we turned up, we were sort of raring to go. It was a physical game. They were sort of in our faces. They knew exactly how to sort of get under our skin and stuff. But I think we just stayed really composed. They scored first. They got a penalty, took their 3 points. But I think just the way we've been playing, the confidence we've got, everyone sort of did their part and more. Physically, we were really good in attack and defence, and I think we spread the ball really well as well. Lads like Bondi, like Penners, Charlie, Finn. Really
Lips.
good ball players. Lips. Doing really well. So I can't fault the lads at all. I think
They were quite tough here as well, weren't they? In
Was the
end of
Bucks?
November, 21-10, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only team we haven't got a bonus point
That's right.
against
Oh.
this year. They did push us pretty hard. I even said post-match, you should have done us at home, because I felt after that game here we got away with one for sure. So we knew it was going to be tough. But yeah, the conditions perfect, dry, sunny.
for Cobham as well for us.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I was sent some photos of the journey. Looked uneventful.
Journey there or journey back?
Journey back.
Oh, yeah.
uneventful.
No, nothing.
Yeah,
Really, not much.
Looked hoofing. It looked great fun.
Yeah, it was very good fun. Nice, tight-knit coach. It wasn't actually that as far. We thought we got a couple of hours on the coach, but I think it was only 45 minutes from Hove to Dropkick. So we had to squeeze a lot of stuff in that 45 minutes.
There was a lot of debutantes, first away buses and stuff that obviously did their little intros and whatnot. But no, great bus journey. First one I've done this season. So
rest of the season, Trinity here on Saturday. Then a week off, I think that's right, the 11th. 18th, Vandals away. Oh, yeah, absolutely massive game for both sides, in fact. And then Old Cats here on the 25th of 4th.
Yeah.
okay. So, Old Cats. We've all seen the posters in the around the bar. You're the poster boy for the Old Cats.
Am I?
Ryan? Yeah, you are. You're right there. There's probably some tables available for that game. They're advertising.
It's the old Surbitonans, former players, and the Braemar All-Stars combined.
Oh,
so
Jesus
that will be a
Christ.
well-attended do.
It's going to be a well-attended do. But more than that, I know we don't know the team for Saturday, but if you're selected,
yeah, big F.
let's be 150.
150.
No, honestly.
150.
Oh, mate, go on.
Right, so
There you go.
fantastic.
Well done.
not, and I'll. This isn't so far this season, but 66 tries.
Oh wow. Okay.
66 tries. You captained the club 73 times in 5 seasons, and your debut was in the first 15 was in 2011.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Portsmouth away.
Portsmouth
Oh,
away.
lovely. What a delightful
Ooh,
fixture.
Go on, tell us. Take us through.
I
it.
can't remember. All I remember, I was playing 15. I do not remember much. I think Billy actually. I can't remember if he was captain or coach at the time. But the journey back, it was very similar to that journey back we had at Hove.
Quiet.
Very
uneventful.
quiet. Nothing really happened. But I don't really remember much.
Cheese board.
But no, I couldn't tell you what happened. All I remember is I was playing at 15. And it was an eventful bus journey home. That's all I remember. If that.
How was the Dropkick brewery, by the way? Because it looked good fun.
It was good fun. I think we we definitely brought the noise at points. I think there was a few people sat in there and saw us, the coach pull up and saw us arrive. They've got big glass doors and just a few people stumbling out of the coach. Here we go. But that was very good fun. I mean, by the time we got there, trying to play any form of drinking game that involved a minute bit of thought was just pointless.
Good. Good.
So yeah, we were in the right place, and it was good vibes, and they hosted us really well.
Yeah.
And the pizza was
Phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I need to get down there.
I had it at the very end. I was the last one, but it was a bit. Well, mine was cold because I didn't realise my thing was going off for ages. You know, the little buzzers they give you was going off, and I got it. And it was cold, but it was really good. Sort of oven baked or stone baked pizzas. I cannot remember the name of the pizzeria there, but from what I've heard from someone else, there's one coming to Cobham. So there might be a new pizzeria. You heard it here first.
There we go. What, like a high street-esque tip sort of thing?
I don't know.
Oh, here you go.
I hope so.
Right, I just want
Come on, Pete.
to ask, you're captain for 5 years.
Mhm.
You're not captain now. What's different for you on the match day?
I don't know, really. I think it's just less pressure. You don't have to, Chris will know, you've got to think about, making sure you're turning up, you're bringing the right sort of attitude. Not that I don't now that I'm not captain, but, pre-match talks, the decisions you've got to make on the pitch, the things you've got to do at training to make sure that, everyone's not necessarily your job to make sure everyone's in the right mindset, but I guess it's a little bit less pressure on me to make any sort of decisions or think too much rather than just play the game and enjoy it.
But you're still very much there for me as a captain now. So okay, mid game, give you a look. What do you reckon? And it, always there,
Might not
team
be,
talk.
though.
So yeah.
I don't know.
But in the team talk and still ever present as a leader, which is great for me.
Good stuff.
Amazing. And so, just give us your sense, Lips, of, because Pete went through. Here's the fixtures coming up. Take out the Vandals game because I think there's a bit of focus on it, probably from everyone else and maybe not the team, maybe not Billy. I think he's. But talk me through how you are using your leaders to kind of orient the team around the next few games. Is it just one game at a time, or do you attack certain games and think about certain games in different ways?
Yeah, I think it's definitely one game at a time. I think we did in the new year. I think there was a few conversations that were had, or words said that possibly weren't the right thing to have said at that time from everyone. Getting ahead of yourselves, have the Christmas break, you come back and you're like, here we go, back end of the season. I think we were getting too far ahead, and actually we went down to Haywards Heath, first game of 2026, and we were like, oh, we're not as good as we think we are here, and that made us realise we have to take each game as it comes. So all we're thinking about is Saturday, and then we've got a kind of 3-week break after that, and it's actually how do we approach training during that? Should we make the boys all come to training, because maybe have a week off and then have 2 trainings, whereas normally we would just kind of, you could come and play touch or you might not, but it's actually how do we approach that 3-week gap? So come Vandals or come whatever game, we're fit, we're ready, and we're prepared. And particularly whilst it's one club, do we focus on, getting the first team down, for example, for just a run through for half an hour on a certain day in that 3-week off, and so it's and Billy made a good point at the end of this. He said, all these suggestions are coming from the leaders in the team, not from him. And he's felt he could step back this evening in recent training sessions and games and actually let us make those decisions, which is great. And I think Saturday's just gone was testament to that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, each game as it comes, for sure. So
for all our listeners, you can look at this up yourself, but just looking at the list, Vandals have had the one loss to Cobham. In the league, they're running looks something like this. They've got Hove at home on Saturday, and then they're away at Trinity. Then there's the Cobham game, which we're just talking about, and that's it. That's their last game. So they've got Hove, Trinity, Cobham. So both clubs got all the top
Amazing.
of the table.
Yeah.
So
Funny how
there's
it's
a
run-
lot to be
running
going
towards
on
that,
there.
yeah.
And we've got to be careful, just back to the previous question, is in that whatever happens at Vandals, the job's not finished.
Yeah.
So we can't allow the hype of that game
absolutely.
to overtake everything, because actually it's a really important game. Whatever happens, it's a really important game the following week, whether that's to, go unbeaten, whether that's to, we have to get some points there to win the league, whether, whatever it is, we can't.
We're fans. We can have a look at the league and go, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah.
See that. Leave us alone. We're enjoying it.
I mean, so you mentioned, just to go back, you mentioned the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Just double check the dates so everyone's got it in their calendars, because everyone will be listening to this on the train that we in tomorrow morning. You're going to get your phones out and you're going to go Saturday at the club. 2:00 kickoff, probably. What's the date?
3, I think.
That'd be
3:00.
3.
25th of April.
25th, yeah.
25th of April.
25th of April. Here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Old
A
Cats.
month today, is it? It's
Old
20th, isn't it?
Cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
That's good stuff.
Right. Now,
Oh, it's really exciting.
can I shift on just from the rugby stuff, just a wee bit onto some, because we're in the presence of two social media legends. Don't know if everyone knows that. So, Saunders, talk us through the. Go on, mate, because it's
I'm
actually
going to
good.
plug it heavy.
Yeah, it's actually it pops up and it's really good, mate. So what is it, and how did you get into it?
So yeah, me and my girlfriend, we've got a little foodie page called the Tubby Grub Hub. It's exactly that. It's basically, we make really nice food that basically makes you fat, high in fat. Try and make it. No, none of that. Yeah, so essentially we find some recipes online, make them, try and make funny edits, and basically my girlfriend, she's a producer. She loves the editing and everything, and I'm the chef in the relationship. So that's the dynamic.
Because there's a touch of okay, and that all makes sense. There's a professional touch, isn't there, on how you make the videos and stuff?
Yes.
That's really good.
So that's her.
Okay, the Tubby Grub Hub.
The Tubby Grub Hub, yeah.
Tubby Grub Hub.
Yeah.
What a
Okay.
name.
Have a wee look at it. And
Yeah, we'll repost from the Cobham Insta account shortly. So tomorrow you can start following.
Just don't show them the Irish
Now
stew,
I found
'cause
this. We're on this.
I'm
We're on
looking
this.
forward to the pre-rugby meal prep
Oh, God, yeah.
episode. Might not get as many followers.
Eggs and bagels,
Yeah,
that's
there
it.
you go.
Quite boring.
And the next one, which is going to segue us into the next thing that I'd love Nishi to do. And but once we do this bit, boys, I think feel free to head off, because we're going to dive into the youths and then into the minis as well, because we're coming to the end of the season. But Lips, you did, and I think I commented on somewhere, I can't remember what it was, the vets group or the seniors group, which is that is total class. You did a lovely wee video. Go and talk us through the badgering.
Yeah.
And then what you did.
Yeah, so obviously the under 12s, well, I don't want to spoil the kind of under 12s were away in Monaco for their sevens tournament and did unbelievably well. And we got the news that they were, I feel like I'm stealing your thunder here.
Hold on, just checking. You don't want to steal thunder. Or do you
I thought this was an exclusive.
This is okay.
Okay,
Don't give the result away.
okay, but they had reached the final
Yeah.
of the competition
Yeah.
against Singapore, I believe.
Yeah.
And we had news of that just as we were warming up. So we thought it would be a great idea to, send them a message to know we were cheering them on all the way from sunny Hove, and that this is one club, no matter what age, no matter what gender, and we were absolutely buzzing for them to get there.
And the boys responded so well to that. They really, really feel that. And in the same way, I mean, regardless, we'll talk about Monaco, but regardless of Monaco, the younger boys through the club, they see what you're doing as a first team. They see that success, and there is a pride there, and there is a sense that they wear the same shirts that you wear. It is the same badge, and on their badge it doesn't say under 11s or under 12s. On your badge it doesn't say first 15. It's just Cobham, and they do feel that. They genuinely feel that. So
Yeah,
that
it's
connection is
amazing,
there.
Amazing. Well, lads, listen. Thank you so much for coming
Awesome,
up.
mate.
Thank you for having us.
Head down. Go for it. We're all behind you. And here's to a successful running.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See you all
Thank you,
Saturday.
gents. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Ryan. Thank you, Chris.
Right, Nishi, what a segue into what you
Oh,
described.
no. We need to talk about the twos first.
Do we?
Do we? We need to talk about the twos first. Can we talk about the twos?
You 10
I'm
sec-
getting daggers here.
10 seconds.
Listeners. I'm getting daggers.
I've just set up a wonderful segue.
I know, it was a brilliant segue. I'm going to
Is this
talk
your
about
first
twos.
argument?
Alex, the link killer.
Yeah, all right.
We've just been talking about like professional production, about
Oh, no,
production
we have
values.
none of that here.
Not anymore.
None of that here. Anymore.
Nishi, take.
I don't know what to say now.
I would go.
I feel
We'll come back to that. We'll come back.
Right, listen. Let's just quickly talk about the twos.
Go on.
Twos are playing at 1:30 on Saturday. They have a match against the OH Exiles. OH Exiles?
Old Hadeburians Exiles.
Yeah.
Absolutely made up name.
Okay.
I know.
The table's looking a bit odd for the twos. They've had quite a few walkovers where the Oppo couldn't get a team out this season, very sadly at last minute. But they have played quite a huge number of games, 14 games, won 11 of them, and they sit top of the Surrey Alliance League. So they're top of their league. Because of the weirdness of what's going on, we think they might be able to secure winning the league on Saturday. And the
Okay.
reason why it's think is because the old Hadeburians game was postponed earlier on in the season, so Saturday's game might be worth 2.
Double header, bring it on.
It's that kind of thing.
So
The number of games played. It's
Say
a
that
bit
again?
weird. So because for whatever reason the game was postponed,
Okay,
so Saturday is worth 2 games.
understood.
So you score, if you win with a bonus point, I presume it's 10 points.
Well,
And Cobham is already 3 ahead when 2 games played less than second place. So 1:30 on Saturday here. Twos, come and have a look.
I'm on the twos.
Might be good fun. Definitely worthwhile. It's not in Monaco. I've ruined your link.
it's not in Monaco. Look at Nishi. He's so.
They all still hate
Can
me
I-
here.
can I-
They all
Good
look
recovery,
at me
Alex.
Can I paint
as
a
though,
picture? Just to paint a picture for everyone listening. Richard Nishi has turned up prepared. A. B with 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of.
I bought a broken stud.
4 pages of. I'm very excited. Nishi. Go on. I know it's going to be difficult to explain the moments and the feeling of it all because the kids must have had an absolute blast. But go on, take us through it.
That is actually, in the absence of the other link, that's actually a really good link. Because
Okay.
for the previous year, like leading up to this,
Yeah.
Pat Mettigan,
Yeah.
has been talking to me saying this is the most like incredible special experience. I was like, yeah, but I've been to lots of sevens tournaments. I've played a lot of rugby. I've kind of got a feel for what it's like. You go, you do it, and great, have some beers. And he's like, no. And he just kept on at me about how special it was. I completely underestimated how special this experience was by miles. Absolutely miles. And I'll kind of leave that hanging and we'll give a bit of context, get into how it panned out. Now, this is the 3rd year that we've been invited to the Tournoi Saint-Devote in Monaco. And it's a sevens tournament, big international sevens tournament. 24 countries, 1 team per country. So as Cobham, we represent England.
Wow.
We have the flag of St. George on our shirts. We'll talk more about how that representation happened a little bit later on. And it plays out over 2 days at the Stade Louis II, the National Stadium in Monaco. And when you walk around Monaco and you've got the circuit, you've got the preparations for all the build up to the Grand Prix. But on every lamppost, on every digital screen in every railway station, at every touch point is a poster for this tournament. And our boys, our under 11s, our under 12s, walking around Monaco knowing that they are part of that and that they're representing the club and that they're representing their country. And it is absolutely outstanding.
No
Now,
way.
the tournament is hosted by Prince Albert of Monaco, but more specifically, Princess Charlene. So Princess Charlene, she swam in the Olympics for South Africa. She grew up in Zimbabwe. So there's very strong rugby connection there in her blood. So 24 24 countries, and that included India, Ecuador, South Africa, Argentina, just countries all around the world, just absolutely staggering. So let me reverse back a bit from the sunny streets of Monaco back to October in the far, far less than sunny pitch 3. It's freezing, it's raining, all of those things. And that's where the programme started. So back in October, when the under 11 and under 12 coaching teams, because the tournament is played to a French structure, so it is a calendar year rather than a school year that we play to. So we have a mix of under 11s and under 12s. You could choose to stack that with 12s completely. We've always made the decision that we're going to make sure the 11s come through and that you blend those years. I think that's a wonderful decision.
Awesome.
For so many different reasons. So back in October, under 11, under 12 coaching teams put forward candidates to enter the Saturday Sevens program. So we have run extra sessions on a Saturday, run it as a Sevens program. And it's tough. It's tough for the boys, actually. They have to unlearn a lot of the rugby that they've been taught. We've been convincing them to truck it up, make contact, hit stuff, knock over people. Whereas actually we want to teach evasion. We want to talk about space, about being like unselfish, like some of the bigger lads who are used to just knocking people over. Well, they have to have a different mindset as they do that. So after initial training and assessment, that larger group reduced down to an 18-player training squad. And in January this year, a final 12-player travelling squad was announced. And that was Jago Craddock, so the captain, returning for his second year in Monaco. Noah Turner also returned for his second year. Arlo Williams, Teddy Van Rennen, Isaac Boomer, Charlie Medwell-Bates, Edward Niche, small lump in my throat. And then in the under-11s, Killian Rowell, Oliver Sear, Tristan Perry-Valaris, Ray Fluckham-Jones and Hugo Barryman. Now, these boys had never met before, and they come on the pitch, and there's a big difference in a year's worth of experience of rugby, but also like socially, like how they behave, how they come together, and these boys just bonded so incredibly well.
That's year 6, year 7, isn't it?
Yes,
so
that's right.
You basically got primary school and secondary school.
Hugely different, like experience and mindset at that point.
Wow.
Tristan Craddock was the tournament head coach, or DOR, supported by Kartik Rowell, and I carried some water bottles and a first aid kit around the place. Wore shades, hung out in Monaco. Let me hand over at this point to Tristan and his son Jago to just give us an overview of the tournament, and then we'll add a bit more colour off the back of that.
Okay, so I am here with Jago Craddock, who's just got back from Monaco, where he captained the 2026 team out there. So, Jago, do you want to tell us a little bit about the tournament, who we played, how we got on, and maybe a couple of highlights from the trip?
So, in the first day, we played Belgium, Andorra, and Zimbabwe, who we won all our games against, and the highlight probably of that day was Zimbabwe, where we beat them 6-2 and Arlo scored 4 tries. Then the second day we played USA in the quarters and beat them, then played Montpellier in the semis and beat them. And that's really good because they were the ones who knocked us out last year. And then the final, we got beaten by Singapore, which was annoying because I feel like if we had started better, then we probably could have won. Probably the highlight of the whole tour was DJ Noggy playing Free From Desire everywhere in Monaco. That was pretty funny.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Genuine highlight. But that theme of like music is a wonderfully bonding thing. It really is, and it transcends an awful lot. And it was a key part of how we played and how we were. So the tournament starts with a big opening ceremony. So all the nations come out, and they have the captain with the national flag in national costume. And before they did that, we were kind of queued up together, and then all the teams get led into like a big tunnel underneath the stadium, so that you pop out the right entrance to the music and the fanfare and the live band and everything. And we were parked in a tunnel for a bit, and you've got a lot of very, very excited boys. And somewhere in this tunnel, someone leans against a light switch, so it's pitch black. And bit by bit, nation by nation, they start finding their voices. And the Georgians started some sort of brilliantly aggressive war chant. That was just wonderful. The Italians are Italia, Italia, Italia. All the nations were going back into hundreds of years of history and cultural relevance and showcasing their national pride. Cue our boys. Only one H in Cobham. Only one H in Cobham. Of
course.
So
At least they didn't do a Morris
who knew
dance.
that a kind of a shared disdain of Cobham could travel quite so far. So look, the boys came out, the boys played, as Jago said, and it's hard. We'd played a tournament here before we left, but you don't quite have a feeling. We'd put a lot of effort into saying to the boys, look, success can look really different. Success can come in lots of different forms. And we kind of made sure we'd hedged it a bit so that maybe if things didn't go our way, these boys have still had the best experience. We all said that success is that every one of those boys gets back on the plane smiling and just has an amazing, amazing time. So we go out against Belgium. Belgium last year, we had played in the pools and we'd also played in the knockouts. Tough side, but we went well. In a little bit cagey at the beginning, went out well, scored our tries, got that first game done. And that was really, really important. Just lay a marker down. The boys are happy. Go back. We go through our protocols. We warm up. We go again. Then we played Andorra. And this is now the confidence comes through. We've won a game. We can go. Andorra, we really started weaponizing our restarts. Like, just fantastic. Getting the ball up there, hanging, getting the chaser in, exactly what we're trained doing, getting that ball back, taking that possession back, scoring off there. So we score 5 tries against Andorra. Edward scores early on. Beautiful pass from Isaac Boma. Just this lack of selfishness, which is wonderful to make that happen. Then we went into Zimbabwe, and now we're really kind of out the traps. So Zimbabwe, we won 6-2. 4 tries scored by Arlo Williams. Like, just brilliant power, pace coming through there. Jago's been scoring. All the boys have been doing really well. So end of day one, we topped the group on maximum points. We've got undefeated. We've got 15 try scores, 4 tries conceded. It's a really strong day.
Wow.
And at this point, we're just trying to keep a lid on it. Just go, right, boys, let's get back to the hotel. Let's have dinner. Let's get some food on. Let's get to bed. Lads, give us all your phones and your burner phones and your iPads and everything else. Just hand them in now, because we need to make sure you get a great night's sleep, and they did.
Great show.
And then we go again. So we come back for second day, and straight out of the traps, we've got the USA. And the USA were everything you'd want the kind of good USA to be. Fans are out there fully, like, stadium is like, USA, USA. They have more stash than you can ever imagine. They're just big, bold, brash USA. Now, on the first day we got there, I bumped into one of the USA coaches, and he was talking about the previous year. And he said, guys, England, Cobham. He said, last year you had the best kit and the best supporters. So we're like, okay, let's see if we can do that again.
2 ticks.
One of the best, we played so well in that quarterfinal against the USA. But I think one of the standout pieces for me was that we scored 6 tries with 6 different players, which speaks volumes to how we were moving the ball and just getting that through, and moving that and getting the sub strategy right as we went through that. Then we came up against Montpellier, one of the few club sides there. So they were playing against France in the semis, and it was really interesting just observing the French team, because all the boys, the interactions between the boys is what made this the magic that it was. All boys of different nations just coming together around rugby and just putting an arm around each other. It was so warm. The French team was segregated. So they won last year, and they'd clearly been told that they were there to get a job done. And their lack of smiles just really stood out.
Interesting.
Really stood out. And so we warmed up. You have designated warm-up areas and times. And then as we got to the corner of the pitch before we were coming out for that semi-final, I was really like hyping the boys up, just going, come on, smiles, like, we've earned the right to smile and enjoy this. We had music playing, and the French were stony-faced. Now, also going into that semi, we knew that we could get through on a draw. because of the points difference
Yeah.
and all the rankings.
Yeah.
We did not tell the boys. Yeah, they've got to have the mindset that they're going in to get a win. And then the game plays out, and we score, they score, we score, they score. And it gets to the end of the game, and our boys are looking at us like, what does this mean? Like, suddenly the French team go down in tears. We're like, arms are up. Our lads just, I don't think they're really comprehending it. They're just going nuts. The DJ in the stadium is playing YMCA. The boys run over to the parents in the stands doing the full YMCA. And it was just, if you could just bottle that moment, it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We then proceed through to the final. Before the final, there is a big parade. The boys come out of a tunnel. There is smoke, fireworks. There's a tunnel of hundreds of players. So all the players in each of the sides line up. The boys then come out directly in front of the royal family. So you've got Prince Albert and Princess Charlene. And they're in a line, and they're in their Cobham quarter zips. And there's the St. George's flag there. And the band plays the national anthem. Ooh. And the boys, they are together, arm in arm. And they've seen this stuff on TV, but this is happening to them. And they're singing the national anthem. I was so nervous and excited. I got the words wrong to our own national anthem, because you're just willing these boys to do so well. And then we go out on the pitch. We're playing Singapore, and Singapore played really well, really well. They took away our oxygen. They shut us down. It's also slightly unfortunate that the rules say that if there's an injury, the clock keeps going. It's 10 minutes, end of. And sadly, Jago went down with a shoulder injury. I was about 20 metres away. My first assessment was it was a collarbone or shoulder out, just because the angle that he ground and, quite frankly, the noise he made.
Nasty.
Yeah. And at that point, you think, I can't just pull him off the pitch. Got to go and assess him. So the safeguarding had to come first. And we conceded a try whilst we were trying to arrange that. We then came back, scored a try at the end, but ultimately we ran out of time on that one, and the better team won. Just at that point, getting the boys together off the ground, just getting them back, there was a big presentation. There's a wonderfully big trophy that came with us everywhere. It's bigger than anything we've ever won before. And I'll fast forward a little bit, because we had an amazing reception from the parents back at the Marriott, where they were all staying. They laid on space for us, did an amazing tunnel for all the boys to walk down. So nice seeing the parents, because during the tournament, all the players are segregated from their parents. So the 3 coaches are in charge of all the children for the 4 days that they're there. And we stay in a separate place. That's segregated. Before that, there was a wonderful, wonderful moment where all the players are swapping shirts. And they're exchanging, and it's just because they're looking for, is there a boy that's vaguely my size? And then, because there's a huge, as you can imagine, there's a huge spread. Sure. And it starts off a bit cagey, and the first brave one goes and it happens, and suddenly everyone's like, I am in. And they are swapping anything that isn't bolted down. And you've got parents looking across the stands going, That's a Cobham quarter zip. They cost an awful lot of money. Put it back in your bag. But just the beautiful exchanges between the kids is wonderful. I'll give you one example of that. So Jago swaps a shirt with a Swiss player. Jago, amazing rugby player, also excellent at leaving his kits around the place. So his mum and dad have done a great job of making sure that his shirt's labelled, and it has not just his name but his phone number, so that we can get this back. So we get back to London on Sunday. Last night, phone rings. It's the Swiss player, just asking if he can have a chat. They spoke for half an hour.
Wow.
On the
amazing.
phone, just about their shared experience of the tournament.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So lovely. We were swapping things with the Andorra coach. He was just a wonderful man. Absolute dead ringer for Bergamasco.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Really? Awesome.
But you start to realise that, because we've come and we're like, look at all our kit. He was explaining how rugby for the boys that he'd taken, and girls from Andorra, it can mean, playing at a rugby club in Andorra can mean the difference between having a shower in a week and not. And that's when you start to understand just the humbling nature of this community as it gets together. and just the interactions with the boys and all the different nations, speaking the language, not speaking the language. Like, there's a really universal language. It's an oval ball and it's an arm around a shoulder. And our boys represented Cobham and they represented England so well. Later that evening, the boys are buzzing, right? They are on cloud 9 plus. We get back to the hotel. We're like, oh, we're going to wake up the whole hotel, aren't we? This is not going to go well. Other nations have like spent hours getting their kids to bed. So we're like, right, lads, get something warm. Down in reception in 2 minutes.
Squad run.
So we were staying in France, so just outside Monaco, but we were a block from the beach. We went down onto the beach. It's pitch black. Like, we just took some music, some rugby balls. The boys were just chucking stones in the sea. It was the best hour and a half. They were just brothers. And there was no under 11s. And there were no under 12s. And there were no egos. There was nothing. It was 12 boys who had the experience of their lives. And that experience will stick with them forever. Now, there are some mentions that we need to bring into this. The first being the full 18-player training squad, okay, including those who didn't make the plane, because those boys helped make this happen. They really did, and they should be incredibly proud of their own journey. As well as the coaches who travelled, Alex Terry for assisting in the early coaching, Tom Williams for his aptitude in coaching the boys and his patience in coaching the coaches, and his incredibly useful video analysis throughout the tournament. That was priceless. Back to Pat Mettigan for being an incredible independent support throughout the process, and our dedicated club contact back in the UK. There's one last theme that I want to touch on, and then we can go on to many other things. And it's this sense of how the experience is both divisive and connective. By its nature, it is divisive. It's a really tough selection for some. Mm-hmm. The kids were amazing. The players were amazing. The parents found it tougher in some instances because it appears to be a very glossy thing. So it has the potential to be a divisive thing within squads as well. You're also suddenly like, okay, you've got this group who are going to do that, and they have these shirts and these experiences. So whilst there is absolute truth in that, the power of the connection is vast. Let me give you a couple examples of that. In the week before we flew, we wanted to do a shirt presentation for the boys. And I spoke to Billy. And in an instant, he was like, yes, I will come down and do it. When? I was like, okay, it's Thursday, the boys are training. He's like, right, I've got a parents' evening. I will come down in between slots in the parents' evening and come and do this shirt presentation. And he did it at the drop of a hat. And he came down and he spoke to the boys about the connection between the first 15 and these lads. And he said to every one of these under 11s and 12s, he said, our first 15 are unbeaten, and you are every much as part of the journey as they are. And it is so true, because we can talk about connection. If you go into any corporate enterprise building anywhere, and there'll be some values up on the wall or laminated or whatever they may be. Connection is often one of those. It can't be a word. It has to be a set of actions. There have to be truths associated with that. And we saw that. And then we saw that in, quite frankly, terabytes of love on WhatsApp. From like every WhatsApp channel you've ever been part of in Cobham Rugby lit up. And it's so warm.
So good.
It's so like just, we're just getting pictures of people watching on, because the whole thing was live streamed. So we're getting pictures of people watching on phones, on huge screens, on computers. You're just getting everyone reaching out, just going, I'm just so proud of these boys and what they're doing and what they're achieving. And there's this kind of swell going. And my God, the boys felt that. They really felt that. And it just made them bigger, stronger, like believers and more of a group together. That was absolutely exceptional. So it is a truly remarkable experience. The boys did us so proud. Like so proud, and they represented their club and their country fantastically.
So we've got to get invited back. I mean, that's the hope.
Unless Nishi did something.
I know.
Too.
Hopefully not.
No, actually, one last mention. So we were beaten in the final by Singapore, and actually, technically, that's Singapore Cricket Club. It's a very famous institution, which leads me to believe that we were the highest scoring rugby club in the tournament. We did also score the most amount of tries in the tournament. Nice. Now, Singapore were there because somebody had facilitated an invitation for Singapore. Now, who do we know in Singapore, my friends?
Who do we know in Singapore with connections to Monaco?
One Jeff Lacroix.
So, Jeff actually sent me a lovely message after the final. Sorry, not the family. One part of it, there was much more to it. One part of it was a slightly humble apology for saying, "I'm sorry for getting them involved. My bad."
I'll tell you what, we actually had an inquiry for new players for next season from people moving back to the UK from Singapore. In the last 24 hours.
So look, just to round it up, the boys are incredible. Huge kudos to Tristan and for Kartik and the way that they coached those boys and ran that experience. Thank you as well to Rathbones and to 19 for sponsoring the squad, alongside the mini and youth sponsors who support the boys' regular rugby. Incredible special experience.
Thanks, Nishi. Unbelievable. Let's try.
How do we carry
and
on
shift
after that?
Focus to the minis who had 700 kids here.
Well, so I think it might be more than that. 12 pitches. It's difficult to quantify, isn't it? I mean, epic. It was the Surrey under 11s, so we were hosting the Surrey under 11s tournament.
Unbelievable. So 12 pitches. How many cars?
I don't know. Ask Danica.
Ask Danica.
Yeah. Thanks to all the volunteers, because every pitch needs a ref, every couple of pitches needs a marshal, every parking spot needs someone shouting at someone. Volunteers,
all the coffee,
all the tea. Unbelievable. And I love, as you go up to the year groups as a coach, you kind of forget what those festivals used to look like and feel like. And when you now and again you bump back into the club and go, "Oh, this is what it was like." Oh, fabulous! Well done, minis, wonderful. How about the youth, Ali, under 12?
So let's run through some youth games. Cup games, so some finals games, but for the girls section, our finals not until the end of April. So the Cobham under 12 girls had their final group stage game. They won 7-1 against a combined cluster of Dorking. I can never remember what it is. Camberley, Guildford and Dorking, I think. 7-1. So really, really good win. The rucking has been amazing for this team. Good. So really, they securing the ball. Marja and Chloe, absolutely epic on Sunday, so it makes space, doesn't it? So they did really well. Some great tries scored. So special mention this evening for Daisy. So well done, Daisy, on a great debut. Great potential, so well done. And Hazel was awarded the Players' Player. That's Hazel Alexander, for those that know Andy and Vicky. As Players' Player. And Isla C was awarded Coach's Player for getting stuck into a new position. Not sure where she was playing, but well done, Isla Cheney, for that. That's really good. So the Cobham team finish second in their group. So there's two equal groups, and they will play the team that came second in the other group, which is Richmond, on finals day on the 26th of April. Nice. So well done.
Brilliant.
So and I'm going to carry on with the under 13 boys. So I'm going to start with the Eagles team. And well done to Haddock. Thanks very much for the write-up. He tells me it was a sunny day on the largest pitch allowed by the regulations. So
he loves a regulation. He loves a regulation.
Did co-pilot write this? Anyway, it was the Tier 2 bronze final versus Grasshoppers. and really good start by Cobham, and they just didn't allow Grasshoppers to get out of their own half. So cracking work done, and so went in at half time 2-0 up. Cobham added another quickly in the second half, but then both teams were really kind of evenly matched until the last 10 minutes. So although Cobham were 3-0 up, Grasshoppers managed to get into the Cobham 22 for the first time. So after some serious pressure, the Grasshoppers managed to get past the Cobham defence, and we ended up with a final score of 3-1. Was a great game by all accounts, and every Cobham player produced some of their best for the finals day, for perhaps their strongest team performance of the year, which sounds pretty exciting. But Mick, the under-13 Lions. Now, I know a bit about this from various WhatsApp groups, but this was a step above.
I'd say you can stick your Six Nations where the sun don't shine. This was the best game of rugby I've seen in years. So it's the Cobham Lions, our development team, playing Old Cats, meow, fish and chips. What are they called? What do they call them?
Cotahamians, old Cotahamians.
Okay, but they call them fish and chips, right? Chips, fish and chips.
No, that's
Chipstead.
That's Chipstead, and that's a cluster of Chipstead and another club.
That makes sense. That makes sense. A couple of wee moments for the game, and then I'll tell you the score. At the start of the season, if our Lions team turned up against a team of that size, we would have found it really tough.
Ding!
But at the start of this game, the boys were happy, looking forward to it, like aware this was their final. And but I'd say both teams produced a game of the ages, for the ages. They scored first, we scored second. They scored next, then we scored. It went back and forth all the game. It was a wee bit of a shame. A lot of the kids didn't quite know what was happening in the game, as the ref was but I don't want that to get in the way of one of the most unbelievably resilient performances that I've ever seen from any Cobham team. It was absolutely incredible. There were guys at the end on their knees, out cold, overcome with emotion. Not out cold, but they're knackered. Overcome with emotion. May I say that perhaps some of the coaches were a tad emotional as well, because they were just so full of pride of the boys. And the score ended up 6 apiece at the final whistle.
Wow. In
the gold and silver playoff. Wow. So both top of their leagues in the Waterfall Cup in whatever colour that is. And right, and okay, golden try. And then F goes, yeah, I think we'll go for a golden try. And they nip off to the tent. I go, what do we do in the end of a tie? And the guy goes, it's whoever scored first wins. So we've been unbeaten in the Waterfall Cup, but we got silver. But I can't even single out
the team that scored the first try in the game that you'd already played.
Correct.
Yeah, the game
becomes the winner.
Who made that one up?
I thought, well, they've got to have something just to move the game on, don't they? They really do.
If you've got a load of games, you can't.
But this was the last game, and I said to the ref, maybe we might want to think about, because look at the boys. The boys are knackered, but they're really invested in this game. It would be fantastic. Anyway, and we called it a day, but it was incredible. And I've got to say, both sets of parents were really I ran touch for the ref. And but I had to keep pushing the parents back. They were so invested in the game. It was so end to end. There was so much effort. I've never seen anything like it. And I don't think I've been as proud of anything before.
I love that. Some days it just all comes together.
Honestly.
It makes up for so much.
So true. So true.
Yeah. And so to our
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
yeah, to our you've said this already, Nishi, today, but our wee band of brothers, right? To our under 14 boys, under 13 boys. Sorry, unbelievable. Just so proud, brilliant. Well done, lads. So there you go.
So
I think
Mick,
I think we might have lost. I think we might have lost Mick. There's a tear over there.
Oh,
yeah.
don't. And I wasn't the only one. That was amazing.
Are you able to carry on with the under 14 boys?
Not really.
Okay.
You do it for me.
Let me take one. I'll give you a sec.
Okay.
So meanwhile, in the under 12 Waterfall Cup, so the under 12 Bs, so we've got an A's and a Bs, played against Effingham and Leatherhead. And just to give it the context, and we've talked a little bit about Monaco already. So you've got a number of boys who would normally be playing in the A's and the Bs. They're out in Monaco. So you've got a bit of a reshuffling of the squads. So the under 12 Bs have taken the brunt of that, and they go into the Effingham Leather game without the kind of depth of squad that they would normally have. And they absolutely played their hearts out. Really physical. Great game. Just that. And maybe it's the point in the season, and maybe it's some of the stuff, Mick, that you've just been saying, when the boys are so familiar with each other now, like they can just play for something a little bit bigger, and like have that pride. They went down 2-1 to a really strong side, having had a slightly depleted side themselves. One real standout was Zach Grisati, who is only really recently taken up rugby, and he scored his first ever try.
No way.
Just brilliant. And he's going to have a wonderful rugby journey ahead of him. And his dad, Z, has been playing in the second 15 and in the All-Stars as well.
Yeah, he's played for
Exactly that.
Oh, great.
So there's a kind of rugby family in the making there, but so happy for Zach there, because he deserves that.
Brilliant.
He really deserves that. And to do that with his friends around him is just wonderful. So the Bees just gave it an absolute brilliant effort there. And then later in the day, the under 12 A's played the Waterfall Cup Gold Cup final against Guildford. Big physical game. The score, we took an early lead. The score changes hands. They're coming back. There's an awful lot. Bear in mind, I'm out like in another country, like trying to get score updates on this. Just refreshing because it's happening live. The same kind of belief from the team, from the parents that go into that. Oscar Sneedy scores, Leo Friend scores, Sam Hopley scores, CJ scores, Tiber scores. They're coming back. And for the second time in the weekend, second time in the under 12 squad, there's a cup. So they won the game. They won the game 5-3. Not to be outdone by friends in other countries. They're like, well, we've got a cup too.
Whatever you can do, we
so
can do better.
just outstanding effort
that's
from
amazing.
all those teams. Special mention to George Petrie, who had his first ever game at hooker and just hit anything that moved. He's going to do really well as long as we can get him in a scrum cap and protect him one way or another. Just so brilliant outcome. Also special mention under 12s are touring, going down to Devon in a few weeks. This whole under 12s tour has been arranged by the non-coaching parents, who have done such an incredible job of bringing this together. All the logistics aside, of which there is a ton of work. You might have noticed around the club, and they took it out to the Waterfall Cup. There is some fundraising happening. There's been a cake sale. It was down here with the minis. It was a week ago. So far, in the baking and the cake sale, they've already raised over £2,000.
No way.
Profit.
That's a lot of cake.
Against flight for the tour.
Yeah.
There's also a 24-hour charity run coming up on the 18th of April, running through the night in hour slots, sponsored run, all to make the tour as good as it can be. And we took the view that this tour was about reach. It was about get as many players there as possible.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
That is so cool.
And so just the ability to start with a very accessible price point, and then try and enhance that with everything we've got to make that work. So for Alan, for Roz, for many, many others who've been involved in that, Dan is leading the tour committee, Susie's involved in it. I will forget 100 names as I even try and attempt to say that. Yeah. But there is a brilliant committee there, and they're doing fantastic work. So huge congratulations to under 12s A's and B's for everything you've done.
Oh, gee whiz.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah. That's a model to follow, definitely.
14 under 14 boys. I mean, this World the World Cup campaign. They can be incredibly proud, but I think last weekend just wasn't to be. So the dev side showed real character, fighting back after being 3-4 tries down to take the lead, only to lose out in the last minute. Length of the pitch score, heartbreaking. But huge resilience on show. And the A's came up against Barnes, strong Barnes side, who flew out the blocks, helped by a significant slope in the first half. A few moments of individual fortune helped them extend their lead despite a much improved second half performance. We couldn't quite close the gap. But in the words of Fat Boy Slim, we've come a long way, baby. That is got James Williamson written all over it, doesn't it? No, who's that?
Again, I think it's JT. Or you can always tell when it's AI when it's got an extended hyphen.
Nice.
Yeah.
If it's a song lyric, it's Turnbull.
Yeah, Turnbull.
Right. So under 14 girls, and back to my own team. Sadly was away this weekend, and this was our final cup game at the pool stages. If we won, we came second in our league. If we lost, we came fifth. It's been very tight in the league. So I was absolutely the same as you, Nishi. I was like, can I have an update? Can I have an update? Can I have an update? All on Sunday afternoon. But what a performance from the under-14 girls. This is the Cobham or the Obhams, as they ran out 63-15 winners over Wimbledon.
Jeez.
Which is pretty epic over
that's
Wimbledon.
amazing.
Over a Wimbledon girls' side, that is really, really, really good work.
Well,
so
that's a great result.
it's a really, really cracking all-round display. The backs were making the scores. The forwards were really making sure that they were the good carries, good rucking, and good control. So really impressive. Emily, one of the Cobham players, absolutely amazing athlete, just keeps on scoring tries. Ava Brown, Millie, Effie, all getting right involved and adding Addie to the mix as well, one of our under-13s who's always makes meters.
Prodigious player.
Yeah. And I think Emily got player's player. Kira, so we've got a new player in the team. She plays for Brighton and Hove Football Academy.
Right.
As a goalkeeper. Ooh. So it might not surprise you to know that she scored every conversion.
I was going to say, get her on the tee.
She got every conversion. No matter where the ball was dotted down, she got the conversion. So she got coach's player of the day. So we came second in the tier, and we come up on finals day against the Roslyn Park Ironsides cluster. We played them twice so far this season. Lost once both times closely, and they've been proper games. So really looking forward to that.
Brilliant.
So the Colts maintaining good momentum across the full squad, 60+ active players. That is absolutely incredible.
They wouldn't get off the pitch tonight.
Absolutely
That is
incredible.
brilliant.
Both squads are through to their various semi-finals and are undefeated. B squad were awarded a walkover and meet Guildford B in the semi-final. A squad meet Reigatians after a hugely tough quarter-final against a big Farnham team. 6-11 down at half-time, went on to win 17-11. Good comeback. Good comeback. Highlight had to be the penalty kick from nearly 60 metres. Well done, Jack Firebrace.
We talked about Jack the other day, didn't we? Yeah. He's a quality.
60's a hell of a way.
That's a long way.
If the A squad can win their semi-final, the final game is to be held at the Stoop and will be against either Dorking, Dorking, or Guildford.
I wonder what date that is.
Yeah.
Lunny, what date is that? You're not around today.
He's not here. We don't know. 2 friendly games this week against Hazelmere and Hove or Farnborough. It's the Colts.
Brilliant. Ali?
Yeah. So coming back to the girls again, the under 18 girls had their final cup game awarded as they had their final cup game awarded as a walkover, and the
Are those teeth new, Alex?
I'm not sure what teeth I'm working with here, or even Lunny's notes.
It's that bloody slow gin.
But
Peddling us with me.
I'm going to work with the basis that they had an absolute ding-dong of a game against Wimbledon. Talked about Wimbledon a minute ago. Wimbledon got really well-established women's and girls rugby set up, been around for a very long time. So really pleased to let you know that the under-18 girls were able to match them. So that was the first half. And sometimes in these games, if you're trying to manage minutes of different players in different places, sometimes it's too much. So unfortunately, this is one of those occasions where second half got a bit too much. But really, really positive to read that against such a strong team as Wimbledon, that they were holding their own. And a good time to talk about women's rugby at Cobham. For those that have listened, have looked on social media posts, you'll be aware that Cobham has launched its own women's rugby team. Focusing at the moment on the under-23s tournament that's coming up, but hoping to build from that. And I'm really pleased to let you all know that there's around 20 women.
Brilliant.
Mostly ex-players, but some from local universities who are now connected with our new women's team.
But in what is a pair of weeks, really, until we announced we were going for it. Great. Brilliant.
Yeah. So Grace is Grace Crompton is coaching, and she is leading the way on that, and really amazing to see. Amazing to see.
Very good.
Did you see the England socials today? There were 2 or 3 of the Red Roses squad in training with the squad as full squad members, pregnant. And just these are images.
I knew that Alex Matthews. It's not Alex Matthews now, but yeah,
and Abby Ward.
And Abby Ward was there.
But these are just photos you would never have seen a couple of years ago. And they're doing the weight sessions. They have a whole nutrition program. S&C is now focused around what it's like to be an elite sportswoman who is going through a pregnancy, and it's just leaps and bounds from where we've been in the past.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. We'll be looking that up. So the other things to mention. So those of you that aren't jetting away, probably not to Dubai at the moment for the Easter. The under-22s are playing over the Easter weekend. So thank you again to those that helped set that up.
Playing up here?
Yeah, I think there's a game here on Easter Saturday or on Easter Monday. Look out for details of that. But under 22 is a great way to keep connected for those listeners that are away at uni. Keep connected to the club and make sure your name's down. And for those of us that want to get out, have had enough of being at home over Easter, too much chocolate.
Love it.
Come down and have Guinness instead.
Love it. And then, we're definitely in touring season, so I know the minis they've just got back this weekend from PGL, Windmill Hill. What a place! What a place! I hope everyone enjoyed everything on offer with a wee bit of rugby on the side. And then the under 13s and under 15s are heading off to Lisbon to the International Tens tourney. There, leave on Friday. In fact, I think some people are already there. That'll be unreal. I tell you something, I've looked at the schedule for it. It's a 7 a.m. bus for a 9:30 start, and the bus picks us up again at 7:30 p.m. to get back to the hotel for dinner and sleep for 2 days. So it's going to be pretty full on. Cannot wait. Bring it on. And then
Be full on down at the casino in Estoril.
might well be. Then Ali, the girls combined age groups.
Yeah, so
Swanage? No.
as I always mention when I can, the girls section has combined 2 age groups. So when we talk about the under 14s, we're talking about the under 13s and the under 14s together. So as a girls section, it's absolutely essential that you're trying to engender a dynamic from the earliest ages of youth rugby right through to the end of youth rugby, because each year you've got a new team. So we try and go on tour together. So in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be off to Swanage. It's not quite Lisbon.
I think Swanage is brilliant.
But there's 110 of us going to Swanage.
Jesus.
We booked the whole of the youth hostel. We outgrew that, so we booked the whole of the hotel next door. So we outgrew that. We've booked the whole of the pub down the road. We've outgrown that, and we've also got the Airbnb next to the pub. So yeah, it's going to be one of those things.
Have an absolute blast.
Amazing.
Have an absolute blast. Well, that was a bumper pod, wasn't it?
Yeah.
1 hour 10. There was loads of stuff in there.
Well, the way the trains are going at the moment, you'll still be able to listen to it just on your trip into...
You'll still be sat outside Surbiton, I think, by now. Lads, thanks very much. Thanks for hanging on in there. That was wonderful. Loads of good stuff. Thanks, Ali.
Yeah, I'm on going away to do my prep because I think we need to get our tour to Lisbon for the girls rather than Swanage.
You might well.
And Nishi's going away to write his diary about his weekend in Monaco.
There is a wonderful write-up actually on, I think it's live on the Cobham site now.
Okay.
Worth a look.
Brilliant. Thanks, Nishi.
Fantastic.
What a story.
Amazing, yeah.
Jealous, inspired, in equal measure. Thanks, pal. Pete, thank you for bringing some more. What's that one you've brought us tonight?
That is rhubarb and ginger gin.
Absolutely
That was really good.
wonderful. Right, you'll be taking order for me. Thanks, Aaron.